Hello, my name is Richard Lowe and I'm a ghostwriter. Today's question is, what was your favorite ghostwriting experience? Well, I'd have to say it's the first one I had. This was the autobiography of an Afghani politician. Now, the book was never published, and he has no intention of publishing, so I can talk a little bit about it, not a lot. But he was an Afghan politician who was in Afghanistan before the Soviets invaded, before the coup that overthrew the legitimate government of Afghanistan and caused the problems that caused the Soviets to invade. And he wanted to write a book about his life and what happened. And it was fascinating. This was a very steep gradient for me, because not only did I have to know how to write, which I could do just fine, and an interview, which I could do just fine, but also he was Muslim, which I'm not, so I had to learn about Muslim culture. He's from Afghanistan, which is a whole different culture, and I had to learn that. And then there was a language barrier. He could speak English, but it was very difficult to understand what he was saying, and he had some difficulties understanding me. Not only that, I took over the project from another ghostwriter who basically decided she didn't want to do the project. So I had to take her interviews and things and her notes and convert them. And then there was a third ghostwriter involved who kind of had these loosey-goosey notes and things that turned out to be kind of worthless. So I had to take all of this existing content and salvage what I could and create a book from that. I got about halfway through it before the gentleman decided that he wanted to go back to Afghanistan and do some goal that he had there, and the book was no longer important to him. But I learned a lot from that. It was a lot of fun, first of all, talking to somebody from a different culture. I am fascinated by other people's cultures and all over the world, and it was very fascinating to learn about Afghanistan and Islam and all of the traditions and cultures that go with it, and then the clash of the West and when America and Russia came in and the clash there, and Pakistanis. It was quite a story too, you know, having to flee Afghanistan during the revolution and going through the Durand line, which is considered one of the or was at the time considered one of the most dangerous places in the world, and getting out of the country and then having to get his family out. And all. I mean, it was an amazing book. I really wish he'd published it, but I couldn't. But it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. One thing I learned is I was undercharging. Definitely undercharged by a factor of about 10, because I wound up, I think, making $2 an hour on the book for what I did. So I learned you got to raise the rates and get paid what you're worth. I learned that managing a client is interesting, getting a client to come in and do things. And I learned that interviewing can be interesting, and I learned sometimes that you've got to jam a lot of interviewing into a short time to take advantage of people's time. So that was my most interesting ghostwriting project so far, possibly because it was first. It was very chaotic. I managed to pull it off, at least until he decided to go to a different project, and I think it came out pretty good. So this has been Richard Lowe. I am the Writing King, and you can find me at thewritingking.com. Thank you.